nor India, even if we recall that in India cow is sacred, they venerate the cow. No one wants to act as a bull. However, in Europe, many of the politicians want to act as a bull or a goat or a ram. Will not point fingers, but this is not about China. It's not the case of India or China or any other major powers or mid-sized nations who respect themselves and will not allow to be humiliated. Well, as regards trade in uranium, this continues, and the United States is the #1, I think, power in terms of nuclear generation. I don't remember the exact number. Probably they have 54 power plants, NPPs. But in the overall energy mix, it accounts for 18.7% only. I mean the nuclear power. We produce and generate less. We have fewer units, but in our energy mix it's also 18.5%, roughly the same proportion. But in the United States they have a well-developed nuclear power sector, and it requires a lot of fuel. We are not #1 supplier. You said we're the biggest supplier. No, this is not true. The biggest supplier is an American-European company, I forget its name, supplying 60% of nuclear fuel to the American market. And Russia is #2, supplying around 25% of uranium. Last year, I cannot recall the exact numbers of supplies, but we earned around 750 or 60 million USD in the first half of this year. We sold uranium worth more than $800 million to the United States. So more than $800 million worth of uranium, and as a result of the year, it's going to be 1.2 billion, more or less. So we can figure how much is going to be next year. Now we have had the backlog of orders to the tune of around 800 million. So the work is ongoing. And, well, they do that because, it's the cost-effective option for them, and they're right in doing so, and we are ready to be a reliable supplier.
I took note that for the next Valdai Discussion Club, we need a session dedicated to livestock, about rams, sheep.
Oh, this is a very important matter. Yes, don't hesitate. Don't doubt that. If we step aside from the irony, probably you have caught the irony. But if we speak about the energy trade, the refusal to buy Russian gas in Europe has resulted in the growth of price, and the gas-based fertilizers production has become non-profitable in Europe, and the enterprises closed down, and the price of the fertilizers has gone up, and that impacted the agriculture, and the food prices have gone up also, which reduced the living standards in Europe. This is why people take to the streets.
Mr. Putin, and let's leave alone the nuclear topic. And over the last week, a lot has been written about the situation in Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, that there is a threat of a major failure that would actually damage all the regions nearby. What is going on there?
Well, all the things that have been happening keep happening. The Ukrainian militants try to impact the surroundings of the NPP. Thank goodness they haven't got the nerve to impact the station itself. There were some strikes against the training center. Several days ago, just shortly before Grossi came to visit us, there was an artillery strike impacting the power transmission towers, and now the feed in is provided with the help of generators, and so these transmission lines should be brought in order, should be repaired, and they're within the reach of the Ukrainian artillery. This is the difficulty, and this artillery keeps pounding, and our repair brigades cannot approach this site, and they keep telling everyone that we've been doing that, not them. And Mr. Grossi visited that, and the staff members of IAEA keep silent. They're shy of what has been happening, but they're not blind. They see what has been happening. Do we strike ourselves? This is nonsense. This is a very dangerous game, actually. And on that side, people should be aware that if they keep playing these dangerous games, they still have operating nuclear power plants on their side, and we can reciprocate, respond in kind, let them think it over. Number two, well, around 10,000 people worked at that power plant in the Ukrainian times, because all the social things were on the payroll, on their budget. Now 4.5 thousand people work there full-time, and only 250 came from other regions of Russia. All the rest, the bulk, the vast majority, are the staff members that have been there for quite long. Some of the people, some of the workers left, and no one expelled them, and no one detains those who want to live there and work there. And they have accepted the Russian nationality, as well as our colleague has done. And all that is happening and is witnessed by the observers of the IAEA who are present at the power plant. And this is how things are progressing, are happening there, and we try to, well, by and large, this is under control, and we try to provide for the security of the nuclear power plant and the fuel. But I can only add that the sabotage squads of the Ukrainian army last month and last year repeatedly tried to blow up the power transmission lines near the Kursk and Smolensk nuclear power plants, trying to, well, our professionals restored power supply quickly, but what has been happening now at the Zaporozhye power plant is no different from the activities by those terrorist squads. This is very dangerous. Well, they'd better stop that. I hope this message is brought home to those who are in charge. So Grossi knows what has been happening. Yes, he does, and he knows that. Like a